Hello, everybody. Now that I'm a little bit more awake, my name's Forrest. Still tired. I wanted to have a conversation. So my last video I filmed, I was talking about, identifying an issue and don't put quarters in your stock. Stop doing that. It's not good for the gun. Seriously. I maybe thought about it, and it's still a bad idea. But if you had to put them there, either A, drill a hole through the center of them, which is defacing money, so don't do that, I think. I don't know. Or put them in front of the buffer and just pray to God that you're able to close the thing, and just don't do it. It's not a great idea. It's not a great idea. By the way, cottage cheese and blueberries. Stop having cheat meals. Just eat tasty, healthy shit. That way when you're cheating, it's only like barely cheating. So, this video, I'm going to call it, stop using penny solutions to dollar problems, okay? In life, people will try to advertise or sell or let you in on a little secret, and it will be way cheaper than the solution you know normally, or a solution that you don't know yet. I'm not saying that is never the case. I am saying that if you approach life constantly looking for that solution, you are going to be left, they talk about buy once, cry once. Sometimes you'll never cry. Sometimes you'll never know that you're doing things in a way that are less than desirable. But the moment you get shown that way, that it's just like anything better, it's like a huge step up on everything around you. It's great. You've got to spend some money in life. Some. You can be known as the guy who's just ultimately resourceful. Let me tell you something. It's nice to know people like that, but also you stick out like a sore thumb and you come off like a cheap dude. Be frugal. Do not be a cheap dude. Okay? I want to talk about this in relation to the firearms industry, but I can talk about it in relation to other things. Like laser sights are the greatest example of this, I think. You have the solution, which is train. Go spend, $50 on ammo a month, on 9mm handgun ammo, and you will be better after 2 or 3 ranges. I promise you. Maybe the first one you might get better if you know what you're doing. If you're really making the most use out of your ammo, you're doing your 1R1s. You're maybe you're not just wasting shit on really long bill drills. But or you could listen to fucking Chinese dude down the street. Might have been a little racist. And you can fucking buy a laser sight and put it on your pistol. And who needs? But here's the thing, that comes with serious downsides. So if you get used to using your laser on target, you're not even aiming, you're gonna adopt a bad stance. You're not gonna learn about things in shooting, like how to shoot and move. Probably you're gonna become target oriented, but you're not gonna become target oriented. You're gonna become object on target oriented, which is the worst kind of target oriented. That might as well be the person who just looks at their fucking sights, right? Except now you're hyper focusing on one part of the target instead of what the target is doing, right? These things are dumb. They are objectively dumb. And the worst of the worst are people who give you advice that's like free. And free advice is wonderful. We love it. But when they give you a solution that's free, to, like, what is that fucking obviously felon drug dealer dude who's trying to break into the gun industry but just can't. He's like, you don't even need sights on your pistol. Oh, you're not gonna aim. No, you need sights on your pistol. Stop listening to I've been in plenty of gunfights. Yeah, you never hit nobody, which is why you're not in jail right now, which is why you're able to give us horrible gun advice, okay? Have sights on your pistol. Know how to use them. You may not need them at 10 yards, but we're seeing more and more gunfights that are longer than 10 yards. We're seeing responses to mass shootings from armed civilians. We're seeing home defense situations in bigger homes. We're seeing like I said, mass shooting defense, like in more like the Elijah Dickens drill. It behooves you. Even if you're not hunting, whatever, that's a skill that, like, it will make you directly better when you aren't using your sights. If you know how to pick up your sights, acquire them, but while staying target oriented, right? It's just it. But it's free. You don't use sights. It's free. You're not gonna have to use them anyway. So why would you train with it? All you guys that are training, you're fucking pussies because you're not gonna remember that shit. That's just simply not true. You're going to default to your lowest level of training. Okay? It might only mean if your lowest level of training, your lowest level of training might be standing and shooting, because that was your lowest level of training because you trained one time at a class and every other time you shot a gun was you pulling over the side of the road shooting at a fucking street sign. Okay? Let's try a little bit harder. Quit using penny solutions to dollar problems. Okay? I'm not saying there aren't awesome, cheap alternatives to things in this world. There definitely are. I'm a big fan of them. I'm super cheap. Okay? Even the handguard on my fucking Geisley upper's fake. But I'm probably going to pay for that in the long run. I already have. It was very hard to install. I had to fucking hand fit. And then I had to like time it with paper. Wasn't super great. Shout out your boy. Shout out baby mama Geisley. Please sponsor your boy. But what I'm saying is, the more you try to save money in the life, the more you probably will run into issues. That's fine. A good person will eventually know when to say, okay, this is something I don't feel like dealing with later, right? And that's what it comes down to. It's just you being broken down by problems that happen all the damn time. You see this all the time with people that are selling like 3D printed gun parts. They'll sell them and they don't have the ability to print nylon, and so they'll print in whatever material they have, and they'll just offer them for the same price oftentimes, which sucks. But if they're giving you a discount, it has that illusion of doing this. And I sell cheap FRTs and sometimes in lesser grade materials to accommodate for that. I will be the first to tell you that you are better off spending $1 million on, something like a Partisan than the unit FRT. It's a better quality product. You will cry less. That being said, I mean, you the customer have to weigh like, how much am I going to be using this FRT? How much money do I have for ammo? Is it better for me to train than do waste a bunch of ammo and $500 on an FRT? Ask yourself these things, right? And it's not going to be the same answer for everybody. It's just not. But it is important that you look into these things. When it comes to like solving a car part, you want to put a nitrogen rig on your fucking car, or a nitrous rig, and you want to purge the excess and do all this shit. Do you want to go to China and get something that, when you know you're going to be putting more miles on your car, do you want to go to that Chinese part, or do you, maybe you part it out? Maybe instead of not doing the whole unit out of this, you just dime it, and you're experienced. You know where you can cheap out, and worst case scenario, it breaks. Now all you need to do is replace this little part. That's a great idea. If you're going to cheap out, minimalize your cheaping. Yeah, stop looking for penny solutions to dollar problems. Start eating healthy. This is going to be my last piece of advice here. I'm trying to end my videos with good advice. Your diet, okay? You can absolutely eat healthy for cheap. Should you? That's up to you. The trick is exploring the entire grocery store. You don't know how much you're not exploring your grocery store. You think you are. You walk up and down every aisle and you see what you want. But yet all of your meals are pasta based. And you're just eating chips all the time. And you're getting in like 5,000-6,000 calories a day as a full grown adult. Like, come on. Okay? I'm not saying eat cottage cheese and shit. By the way, the low fat cottage cheese, I'm not liking it as much. I'm not. But it's actually like 40 cents less. Get back to you on that one. But if you were constantly looking for the cheapest possible solution to save money, you will gain weight. You're getting much more calories, because unhealthy things, unuseful things, cheap things cheaply produced things are always going to be cheaper, right? Or cheaper things are almost always going to be cheaper produced, right? This comes down to your food. It comes down to your car parts, your gun parts, your ammo. You get what you pay for. And there are some things you might want to cheap out on. There are some things you're not. So I'm going to end this video with just, eat more cottage cheese. It's good for your soul, I promise. Drink more juice. And watch the carbs, bro. Like, you'll be happier if you just stop. If every dinner night is not pasta. Yeah.